Hello, welcome to our podcast. My name is Kelvin,
And my name is Philip.
My name is Sajad.
and today we're going to presentate the interwar period. Mainly about the occupation of Norway during World War II, and a little bit of interwar period, a little bit of about the invasion of Norway, and generally what happened after the war, like what did we learn from this, and how it has affected us today. So, exactly how did the World War, like what, why did World War II start? Like, can you tell me from the beginning?
Nei, jeg har et screenshot her oppe. Tror du jeg kan gå inn og så
It was because
Ja, hvis jeg har lyst til å
because of the Treaty of Versailles,
Det spørs da,
the,
det er liksom
the
limited
end of
på hva du kan gjøre.
World War One was very unfair against the Germans. So, yeah,
It was like one of the reasons why Germany economy was so bad in shape.
yeah,
Like they were being very unfairly treated.
yeah.
And then what exactly happened? And like, what happened then? What happened after that?
People were investing
Stocks.
in stocks, and everyone started investing, and suddenly the stocks fell in price. They were plummeting to the ground.
And so they so that means they had to sell everything they had because
And
Yeah.
people
they
began to panic, so they just sold the stocks they had, and that made the situation even worse. The US was forced to retrieve back the loans they gave to Germany, and when they did that, Germany also
became
yeah, they basically
Collapsed?
lost all their money, and the economy collapsed.
Hitler came to power then.
Yeah.
All right. So when Hitler like came to power by exploiting the people's suffering.
Yeah, he used the situation to manipulate the people into thinking the Jews were the problem and that they were the cause of Germany's downfall in World War One.
Yeah, and Germans hated the Treaty of Versailles, and they they just needed someone to blame it on. And
They saw the law as humiliating,
yeah,
So like they
just wanted an excuse to, get
I
back
see.
to power.
So they directed their anger to the Jews, and I think then Hitler just ruled over Germany. Since he became like the chancellor in 1933, 30th January,
yeah,
and then and then and then he became president right after that. Like a little bit sooner than like a few months go by. So like we fast forward like a few months, possibly a year into the future. No, not that, but there. Meanwhile, there were like someone called Vidkun Quisling who was inspired by Hitler's ideology. He admired his actions, and also
he had a Nazi party in Norway, so he was a Norwegian Nazi.
he didn't came to power, but until he
Litt grann bare. Men det var
until
ikke veldig bra.
Hitler
Det
reached
var mye
out
mer
to
tydelig
him
på mange andre.
and met with him, like
Yeah.
Nei, men
discussed
det
how
kunne se sånn litt.
they're going to like do this and
Du hadde liksom øya på.
how
How to invade Norway and in what way.
and like Vidkun Quisling wanted Hitler to invade Norway because like
The Allies were planning to use Norway for an exportation route from Sweden.
They wanted to stop the exportation of iron ores to Germany, but and so they like set up mines and stuff
Yeah.
everywhere. But since Norway didn't want, they were neutral. They didn't like cooperate.
Yeah.
So it was like kind of hard. And Hitler saw this, and together with Vidkun Quisling and Hitler, um, yeah, Vidkun Quisling was probably one of the reasons. No, not the one of the reason, but like after Hitler invaded Norway, Vidkun Quisling helped Hitler like control Norway. He was the second in command under Josef Terboven, as he was elected to control Norway.
Yeah.
And multiple scenes, events happened, such as the sinking of Blucher and other different battles, rebels, like
The Battle of Narvik.
and the king and the parliament leaving the country to help support. But meanwhile, all that happened. Now Norway had capitulated until like after 2 months, and everyone was under the control of Germany.
Yeah, and German soldiers took occupied people's houses.
And they ate everything they had. 300 more people in their country.
Some of the German soldiers were young, at the age like 15, 16.
So that means, the soldiers were like very young people that were forced into military, even though
they didn't support Hitler.
Mm-hmm. So they like had no other choice, or else they would like die.
Yeah.
So yeah, they rationized the food they got from the farms, and in addition, most of the farms' food were transported back to Germany to feed the soldiers. So there were very little to food. For example, I got a piece of bread and a cup of water for the entire day, and that was probably enough. That was probably given to a family to last them a whole entire day.
So many people were starving.
And some probably died.
Yeah.
Because it was so little food. All this lasted until 1945, between the 8th and 9th April, where German soldiers surrendered in Norway and retreated back to Germany.
Yeah.
This was because the day before, 7th May 1945. Wait, I meant May, sorry. Wait, May?
Yeah.
So like
Germany surrendered.
They surrendered
to the Allies.
And they like collapsed. Or Germany lost the war. Again. After 2 times.
Yeah.
And now everyone waved with the Norwegian flags.
Yeah, everyone had hid Norwegian flags in their houses. So they were celebrating.
They were celebrating everywhere. But it wasn't all that good after the war because Hitler's Holocaust and propaganda. You could also say there were propaganda in Norway as well.
Yeah, some people still like believe in Hitler, and
some people hated the Jews.
Yeah,
and even after the war,
they think like Hitler and had this ideology of Nazism.
And I mean, I think especially the young people were affected mostly of this propaganda because there were some Norwegian soldiers that went to war with Germany. So, but also everyone hated Germans. Germans were largely hated all around Europe.
Yeah.
Around the world, essentially. Girls, Norwegian girls that
like
the
German
and
soldiers.
And
they were treated pretty bad.
Really bad. They were called
Yeah.
They were called that, and they're essentially cut, shaved with.
Yeah. They were punished in the streets.
punished in the streets, and it was called street justice. It just means like the parliament does not get involved with the laws and stuff.
Yeah.
You do it yourself.
Yeah, normal people on the street just make their own rules.
Yes. Oh, and like since there were so many hatred towards the Germans, traitors, especially Vidkun Quisling, was executed
Yeah,
as part of the National Treachery Settlement.
yeah, and this was the last time Norway used death.
Death
Death
sentences
sentences.
to prisoners and people, and after that, no more.
Yeah,
So in the aftermath, the war still affects us today, since was a very devastating war actually. Like still people like in the news sites still talk about how this war is worse is like more worse than the World War II. But like it still is like a very important topic in science, no, in the world actually.
Yeah, but going back to when Germany invaded Norway, the king of Norway and the minister had to like escape from Norway and go to London and give out orders from there.
yeah,
And like yeah, we like everyone like especially Germany learned that war does not fix things. Like
yeah,
war does not fix the economy and does not fix the problem that you want to fix. It just makes it worse.
yeah,
Because if you like stand up, like in Germany, if you believe things and like stand up for a country and stuff, you might get exploited, like propaganda and just falling into the wrong hands and doing the wrong thing, such as invading other countries. So actually, when we were making this podcast, we have learned a lot of things actually.
yeah,
Learn things that we should not have probably learned, but it's still important factor to why we're learning it, because Germany has committed some tremendous atrocities and genocides,
yeah,
which is very bad also, including Norway even including Norway, because so much hatred towards the Germans and Germans hatred towards the Jews and others.
yeah,
And yeah, basically it just means that hatred is something that we don't realize is making us do the wrong thing, and hatred like alters our views and things
yeah,
to make it seem like we're doing the right thing even though we're doing the wrong thing. So if you want to make the good choices, it's best to be calm. It's best to not get angry or just be calm. So that's the important lesson that we learned today,
yeah.
and I hope it will
Hope you learned something.
hope you learn something new, and I hope this thing this thing we have created will help you understand better what's happening. Goodbye.
Goodbye.